Hey, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Hobby Evolution episode where we at 348. It is Tuesday. Did not I teased on Sunday I was going to go live on Monday. I ended up sleeping in. I didn't really have anything to talk about yesterday since I went live Saturday, Sunday, and usually Mondays are like my weakest content day for first thing Monday morning. So didn't really have anything. So it been just me blabbing, which is what I typically do every day. Anyway, today I do have some content because the Allen and Ginter checklist was released yesterday. I've already seen some retail in the wild, and I think the actual release date is this week, this Wednesday maybe. Herman, what's up? Zach, good morning. So I'm a huge Ginter fan. As you well know, I talk about it all the time. I wasn't planning on buying any. I think retail for Ginter is garbage. If you do buy Allen and Ginter, buy a hobby box. But hobby boxes are expensive, and I absolutely got destroyed last year. Now I bought a case of Allen and Ginter last year, a case of hobby boxes, and it was entertainment for entertainment purposes only. However, I did flip. I didn't care though that I lost. Although the the minimal return that came from my Allen and Ginter boxes, I was very disappointed. Which is partially why I'm not going to. Definitely why I'm not going to buy a case this year because I'm buying more Cub stuff. I'm going to card show, all that, other stuff. Last year we were kind of locked in our homes. So got blasted on the Ginter hobby boxes, but the checklist is out, and now it's like you get that itch. I love Ginter. It's it's one of my favorite products. I think Bowman still takes the cake, but when it's Allen and Ginter release week, I tend to say it's my favorite. But it's up there. The checklist is out. I'm kind of the checklist is but the checklist is there's always going to be Allen and Ginter haters, and there's always going to be people that say, if I want I don't want to pull a non-sports player autograph. I don't want a comedian's autograph. But the thing is, in Ginter, like, you should actually want to pull those because you can sell them and buy multiple baseball autographs if it's not named Acuna or Trout or Soto. Because, I mean, if you pull, a Mark Anthony autograph will sell for more than most of the baseball autographs. And actually, a lot of these celebrity autos sell for much higher than baseball autos. So take that into consideration. I always love pulling the non-player autos because I can sell them for more money than, a crappy pitcher autograph from the Marlins. Supposed to have 3 here tomorrow from Herman. That's awesome. What's up, Mark? Good morning. Mark, your package went out in the mail yesterday. Zach, I can't wait to buy your leftover scraps. They should turn Ginter into all minis. So I used to hate Ginter because of the non-sports. And I always sorted my cards when I had a much smaller collection, when I could fit my collection on a small shelf. I hated Ginter because I sorted everything by baseball team, and I didn't have, and this was probably 10 to 15 years ago, where, I didn't have any football in my collection, no basketball, no hockey, no any other sport. Baseball was all I had. That's all I, bought, collected. This was before I started buying collections and just acquiring, hoarding, trading cards. So I hated it because I had this row in a box that was just a bunch of crappy non-sports celebrity cards. And I didn't want them. Like, I just, I probably gave most of them away. I probably gave who was back in that era, Manny Pacquiao, sells for like $75 a base card. So Mark says I'm not a non-sports guy, but I get it. I just grabbed my Red Sox set. Yeah. So there's a story behind Ginter. You can read up on it, but it's an homage to the original Ginter set from the 1880s. So I've come to love Allen and Ginter. I don't love the checklist in 2021. Don't love it. I like it because I'm just always going to like Allen and Ginter. I'm always going to puff them up. I'm always going to be a fanboy for Allen and Ginter. But I was kind of like the checklist this year, and I think I think I understand a little bit because of COVID. It's more difficult to get these signers and get them stuff. Probably a little easier now than what it was, 6 months ago, a year ago. But there's probably still a difficulty level, more so than 2 years ago. So first, the Cubs checklist, I was actually pleasantly surprised. I start perusing the Cubs checklist, and you see the same old Ernie Banks, Billy Williams, Ryan Sandberg. While I love all of those players, Ginter's design doesn't really change, which is fine. I'm okay with that because you don't want to wild and crazy. It's an homage to the 1880s set, so you don't want to, you want it simple, elegant. I don't know if elegant is a proper term, but and they use similar pictures. They're basically portraits. So Ernie Banks, Ryan Sandberg, Billy Williams, they've been in like every Ginter set, for 11, 12 years now, and it's kind of stale. So it's like, oh, here's another. They all look the same. I'll have to get like a side by side because it's pretty. Once you see them all side by side, it looks kind of ridiculous. So I was happy though that there are some new. Ron Santo surprisingly has not been. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure Ron Santo has not been featured in Allen and Ginter, which is very surprising. And I saw his name on the checklist, and it's like, oh, Santo. Wait, Santo in Ginter? This is a first. So I was very happy with Ron Santo's inclusion. Other former Cubs, Aramis Ramirez in a Cubs uniform. It's been a while because he didn't finish his career in Chicago. And Moises Salou. I am not a big Alou fan because of the Bartman game. I think that he really fueled the fire. He threw gasoline. People were upset with the interference, but and actually it wasn't technically it wasn't interference. But I think he really poured gasoline with his reaction, his on-field reaction. He had a temper tantrum on the field. So when I think of Moises Alou, I think of that temper tantrum in Game 6 of the 2003 NLCS, and I really think, and I think he made some comments in the post game, and it was just like, I feel for Bartman, and I kind of put the blame on Moises Alou, even though the blame. Now I'm going down the rabbit hole of the Cubs in 2003. Alex Gonzalez is there. I mean, this was Game 6. You can go on and on. I think Mark can sympathize with me from his Boston Red Sox in 1986. So there was Braylon Marquez has a rookie. I was happy to see that. He's been hurt. He's only pitched 2/3 of an inning of Major League Baseball, yet he has a bunch of rookie cards here in 2021. I think there was anticipation that he was going to be maybe a number 5 starter or at least a spot starter for the Chicago Cubs in 2021, but he got hurt. So he pitched, 2/3 of an inning last year in September, but he got hurt and he has not appeared in any game in 2021. But I was happy to see him in the set because, if it's in 2022, he wouldn't have a rookie card. So I just like the fact that he has a rookie card in Allen and Ginter. Other Cubs, Anthony Rizzo, Javi Baez, Chris Bryant, Jason Hayward, Kyle Hendricks, and Billy Williams. So I'm happy with the Cubs checklist because we get some new blood in there. Non-sports, and actually before I get to the non-sports checklist, great conversation on Twitter yesterday regarding Allen and Ginter and kind of how things are classified, because there are a couple of executives in the set, female, actually one executive, one coach, that are in the set, but they were deemed non-sports. And I know that kind of ruffled some feathers, but I get it. And I get both sides of the argument. So I don't have because I can understand it from, tops. I can understand it from breakers. I can understand it from a fan that wants Kim Ng and Alyssa Nakken to be part of the team checklist. So I get both sides of it, and I'll explain. So Alyssa Nakken is a coach for the San Francisco Giants. Kim Ng is the GM, I think. I think she's the general manager for the Miami Marlins. So they are classified as non-sport, which is a tricky term because obviously they're involved in sports. But that's just kind of how Allen and Ginter is classified. And I'll take it a step back. A few years ago, Theo Epstein was in Allen and Ginter, and he was also classified as non-sport. And I can't remember if he was with the Red Sox at the time. It was around the time that he was, I think he might have been with the Cubs by the time he was in Allen and Ginter. So he was also classified as non-sport. So I get it from the standpoint, we'll start at the top with the maker of the cards, Topps, where this would be a great question because this is just this is from kind of my educated guess and just partial knowledge of how things work, that Topps and when they make cards, they have a deal with the MLBPA, the Players Association. So an executive like Theo Epstein or Kim Ng or Alyssa Nakken, they are not part of the Players Association. So it's probably different when they don't deal, they can't just make a card of Kim Ng because she's not part of the Players Association. So they probably have to work with, her agent to get her included in the set. That's just I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure that's how that works. So the non-sports tag. So that's from the top side. Now from the breakers side, I can get it because they're not classified, because I think on Kim Ng's card, I saw her card, it says, I think, general manager. So if you're a breaker, like that's not on the checklist. It's not a team card. So I get it from like a breaker. Like if you want the Marlins in a break because you want, who's on the Marlins now? I was going to say Yimi Garcia because he's on my fantasy team, but he just got traded. So somebody on the Marlins, you're chasing a Marlins player. But you also want Kim Ng, but she's not. It doesn't say Marlins on the card, even though she is the general manager of the team. I get it from that standpoint. From a collecting standpoint, and here we go, because I do include Theo Epstein, his Allen and Ginter card, as part of my Cubs collection, even though it doesn't say Chicago Cubs and he's not in a Cubs uniform. So I get it because I would want Theo Epstein cards, but I also understand if I'm in a break for whatever year that was, Allen and Ginter, I know that I'm not going to get Theo Epstein. He's going to be included in the others, the non-sports, non-baseball player, whatever category. So I get it from all three sides and why this all works. So I'm going to go up to Zach. They should say non-player, not non-sport. I agree. But then there's also, so this was also part of the conversation we had. Because typically, because it's kind of called non-sport, which is not true because in this year we have Trevor Lawrence and Jalen Waddle. They are absolutely sports players. They are professional football players. So non-sport doesn't really describe accurately what this is about. But then you say non-player. Non-player kind of falls in the same category because Trevor Lawrence and Jalen Waddle, soccer player, Rocky Blyers in this year's set, they are players, they're just not baseball players. So then you go, well, how about non-baseball? Well, then you have Kim Ng and Alyssa Nakken. They're baseball. They're just not baseball players. So now I guess, do we say non-baseball players? And now all of a sudden we're getting very wordy. So, I guess the most accurate term would be non-baseball player, because that pretty much, I think, covers all our bases here. So a great conversation. And I get it. Like I don't have like I understand why Topps does it. I understand frustration on a team collector's side because I am a team collector. And yes, if I was if I was 1 million Marlins, I would include Kim Ng in my Marlins set, just like I include Theo Epstein in my Cubs collection, even though it doesn't say Cubs and he's not wearing the Cubs uniform. The checklist for non-sports, like I said, is kind of, I think the headliner would be most obviously Trevor Lawrence, although Trevor has like a bazillion autographs already. He hasn't taken a snap. But that's probably the headliner. Rocky Bleier, big time former Pittsburgh Steelers running back. He's in the set. And then you have Jalen Waddle, Jason Biggs from the American Pie movies, Jeff Garlin, who's a comedian, Mark Anthony, that's another big one. There's a lot of names that I'm not familiar with, so I didn't write them on my Post-it note because I don't know who they are and I didn't look them up. But usually there's some out there that command like the biggest premium on the secondary market. I remember in 2016, I think, I pulled a Frisbee golf autograph, and I'm like, this is, even though I know some of these sell for more than most of the baseball autographs, it's like, oh, really? And it sold for like $75, a Frisbee golf autograph. So that's why I say I'm pulling those, because you never know what you're going to get. It could be somebody you've never even heard of, and it sells for more money than you could sell it and then buy a dozen baseball autos. Roy Wood Jr., comedian, is on the list. I mentioned Kim Ng and Alyssa Nacken. Sarah Spain, who I actually know, really cool because I actually know her. We have a mutual friend. Her husband, Brad, is an awesome dude. We're friends. He actually was the founder of I'm drawing a blank. It was on the tip of my tongue. It's basically the Cubs version, the Chicago version of the Onion, the Heckler. So Brad and Sarah, awesome people. So it's really cool to see Sarah Spain. She's on ESPN all the time on that one, Around the Horn. So very cool to see her in the set. So my thoughts on Allen and Ginter. What's up, Safe at Home Sports Cards with us? Good morning. Tricky situation, no matter how you slice it. Exactly. And yeah, it's you're gonna upset half the people, no matter which way you go. Half the people are gonna say, well, that's not fair. So it is what it is. I don't have a strong opinion either way, but I get both sides of the coin. Diego, what's up? It could be an egg end up selling to buy better cards. Exactly. The old egg. And Zach says Jeff Garlin could be a Cubs card. Yeah, Jeff Garlin, a big Cubs fan. So that's my thoughts on Ginter. I'm really close. I have to make a run to my LCS this week. I'm going to pick up I'm going to do a submission to SGC. I'll talk more about that in the coming days. So I need some card savers. And I'm going to check out what his prices are on Ginter hobby boxes, because Ginter retail is just, it's terrible. And that's coming from me, a diehard Allen and Ginter fan. So when I say retail Ginter is garbage, it's just absolutely not worth it. Jackie H., I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Jackie. Good morning. So I have some mail that has come over the last couple days. Zach, your package is here. I've not opened it, so I'm going to open it live. Matthew in Michigan sent me a package, and Diego. So let's open Diego's, because this is not my everyday. He teased what this was, and it's JC. Okay, I'm sorry, JC. Good morning. This is not my everyday letter. In fact, I think this is the first time. Oh, you did include some Cubs. So this is from Diego. There's a letter inside. And how about this? Some Rhino cards. Very cool. This is from Diego. So he attached a letter. Diego, can I read this letter? I'll proofread it before I read it out loud. Let's see. So there's something in the middle. Well, what's this? It's my business card. Okay, so I just read your PS. So Diego says, sure, why not better? So this is my first ever. This is my TTM autograph request. And the letter reads, Mr. Thompson, I hope this letter finds you well. My name is Diego Torres. And by the way, Diego did tell me that this was tongue-in-cheek. So I hope this letter finds you well. My name is Diego, a 46-year-old man with nothing better to do than write letters to other grown men for their signatures. I love it. So yeah, I'm a fan of your blogs and YouTube channel. This you know because you see me chat and acknowledge me. However, I recently received a Million Cubs Project card with no signature. It would be an honor if you signed the card and returned it to me with your autograph done in silver or gold Sharpie. I think I have a silver or gold Sharpie. To show my gratitude, I included some Cubs cards for your collection. Thanks in advance, Diego. P.S. This is so awesome, Diego. P.S. I will not sell this on eBay, unlike some people. This card is actually from the first. This is my second printing. From my first printing, somebody actually has it on eBay for like $6. And it's not me, and it's none of my family. Because it's from like, I think the seller's in Michigan. P.S. I will not sell this on eBay, unlike some people. Feel free to send me a card or two. I see you have a lot of cards. Just sitting there. That's awesome. Haha, Diego. That's awesome. So Diego, I will sign this card for you and return it. Thank you for the Ryan Sandberg cards. That is awesome. My first TTM autograph request. Zach says Frank Thomas and Mark Burley are in the Ginter set. You get a Thomas and Dan gets a Burley. Uvon, Rookie, and Liam Sox cards want those for Porter. Very cool. So this, by the way, this is from Zach. So opening some mail live this morning. Let's see. Open this. Okay, what do we have? Oh, right off the top, I see an oddball card. And I actually just picked up a lot of these baseball card magazines from an auction from several months ago, and it's very cool. The content, first off, is awesome. And then there's also cards in the baseball card magazines, like Ryan Sandberg and Andre Dawson. And I don't think I have these two in my collection. And I don't recall magazines that I bought because I think these are from 1992. Yes, they are. 1992 baseball card magazines. And there were a couple of, I hope they welcome Sammy Sosa back. My connection, I apologize if this video is not working. Some other Cubs, more Sosa, and Greg Maddux on the other side, signed by Braves, and Mark Grace. And then looks like Rizzo on the back. So that's one from Zach. A couple more here. We got Big Lee Smith, 88 Donruss, Hall of Fame. Lee Smith. He is a big dude. I've seen him in person at Cubs convention. We've got some sweet score. Mitch Williams, Lancaster, Kevin Blankenship, Mike Bielecki, Paul Kilgus, Lloyd McClendon. This is the era I grew up. I was collecting cards in 90 and 91. Was watching Cubs games. So very nostalgic when I see some of these names, like Lloyd McClendon, Mark Grace, of course, Dawson, Sean Dunston, the old Sean-O-meter, Dawson, got the Wild Thing, Mitch Williams, Ryan D. Sandberg, and Rick Sutcliffe, who was on the broadcast the other day. So, Zach, thank you very much. I will put together, I got some White Sox from this past, there's one more. This last weekend at the National. So I will get some of those out. Some more score. I just put some 91 score. I had a hobby box of 91 score and I ripped it. And well, I didn't open the packs, but I'm selling the packs at the upcoming card show. I'll be in Rockford, Illinois this Saturday, 9 to 3 at the Rock Church. So I had an 88 Topps wax box, a 91 score wax box, and there was one more, 90 Donruss, and they're all like $20 boxes. So it's basically, if you sell it on eBay after shipping, you're going to make like $5. So instead of doing that, I'm like, you know what? People really enjoyed. What's really cool is it's not that I can make $10 more. It's the fact that people look through these and buy a couple just for nostalgia at the card show. And because I sell them for 50 cents a pack and people love them. I had two kids when I was in Schaumburg last month, two kids, probably 15, like high school age, and they were excited for pulling a Barry Bonds 1990 Fleer card. And it was just like, when I was young, when I was 8 in 1990, that's the exact expression I would have had opening that same pack 30 years ago. So to see like kids, because I mean, when I'm at these card shows, I see so many of kids that age carrying around a Pelican case with cards worth more than my entire collection, and they're 15, 16 years old. So it's kind of a breath of fresh air to see kids opening a pack of 50-cent junk wax and getting excited over a Barry Bonds base card. So that's part of the reason why it's like it's not worth selling on eBay, but just to see the joy on some people and guys like my age, like, oh wow, I can get a couple packs for $1 of 90 Donruss or 91 score, and relive that nostalgia at a really cheap price. You don't have to buy a whole box of it. So I'll be taking those. I filled up my junk wax box, taking those to Rockford this Saturday, and then I'll have them at my show in 2 weeks on August 28th. So Diego asked, what magazine did the Sandberg come from? Zach doesn't know. I'm not sure with it, so I went after. Didn't have the others. It is Baseball Card Magazine, and it's from 1992. It does not say which magazine on the back, but it is from 92, and it is from Baseball Card Magazine. So that limits you down. So we've got it magazines that it could be from. And I've got a couple issues, but I'm pretty sure those were not in the issues that I have. I have not. It's really difficult to take these. So these come in, and I don't have one near me. It's in the other room, but so these come in like, and I think these came in like a page of 6. So it was like a full page, but in previous, like from 87 to 91 in Baseball Card Magazine, they had them in like, so they had like 3 cards on page 20, and then it was like, kind of went under, and then it was on like page 60 where the other, 2 cards or 3 cards. And you had to basically like pull the magazine. You had to rip the magazine apart to get these cards out. So there's a Griffey with a Griffey rookie, and the panel sells for like $50. So I think I paid $2 for a stack of about 25 of these Baseball Card Magazines. So it was well worth it just for the content alone. There's great content, so I'll be tweeting some of the stuff that I find. I tweeted quite a bit over the weekend. So it's always fun to see, prices. Sometimes I've found like error card talk that I didn't know, like, maybe a little tidbit about a set or an error card that I didn't know about. So sometimes you find that stuff out. So really cool. And then there was also a separate lot that I purchased from the same auction that had a bunch of oddball, and there were a couple panels like this. I actually cut up a few and posted some singles on eBay for like $1, $2. They're really cheap. Some of them are worth a few bucks more. Like there was the Mattingly They redid like if Mattingly had a rookie card in Topps and Donruss, and those sell for like $5. The Griffey rookie sells obviously for quite a bit. Then one of the magazines I had from '87 is actually the first issue that they included cards, and there's a Bo Jackson in there, and I think those sell for around $5 as well. So once I get my like bargain box cards listed, I'll start trying to pull those. I want to be careful, and I don't want to destroy the panels first off, and I kind of want to keep the magazines intact as possible because I actually enjoy reading what's inside. So speaking of that, I've got to go. So one real quick, and I'll probably go in depth a little further tomorrow. But my eBay sales, I'm very happy. I will talk more on this because I don't have the numbers. But I listed about 300 items over the weekend, and a large amount of them have sold. Because I used to always say, once I started doing file exchange, like I'd blast out 100, and like 20%, like 20 out of the 100 cards would sell within 24 hours. The most recent times before this past weekend I did, and I wasn't seeing that type of return on sales. But over the weekend I have seen that. I don't have the numbers, so I don't want to say it's 20%, but it's a pretty good percentage. I'm happy with it. I'm not overwhelmed with shipping. I shipped out 60 packages last night, had another 16 waiting for me this morning, got those whittled down. So tonight I plan on at least getting started on another file exchange update, try to push out another 50 cards tonight. So I think that has a lot to do with, and I'll talk more on it tomorrow, but I think a lot of it has to, there's multiple reasons behind it, I think. But I think I found, kind of one of the main reasons why I'm having more success this time around. So I'll talk more on that tomorrow. I've got to run. Thanks so much. Great chat. Love the mail. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Diego. I will get some White Sox out to you, Zach, and Diego. I will get your autograph, Mr. Torres. I love it. Thanks so much. Have a great Tuesday. We'll talk tomorrow.